right, so this question is saying find the coordinates of points of intersection of a curve. So this is a cubic curve. How do I know it's a cubic curve? Because there's a square and there's a power 1 part. So when they multiply, it will be power 3. So it's probably a cubic curve like this. And then we have a linear curve which might go like this or might go like this, where it cuts at just 2 points, or it can cut at 3 points, or it can just cut at 2 points here or just 1 point. So 5 different scenarios where the line can intersect the line. So you can have 1 answer, 2 answers, or 3 answers at the most. So how can I judge that just looking at the equation? Look at the highest power. So because it's power 3, you can have a maximum of 3 answers. All right, so to check the points of intersection, I have to solve them simultaneously. So we just put them equal to each other. So that gives me 2x plus 3 whole squared here into x minus 1 equal to 3 times 2x plus 3. Now here's the thing. It is very common or a very common mistake to just cut this one out once. But I would suggest you don't do that. Reason, because you will lose out on one root that way. So what I would suggest instead is that you bring it all to one side. So this goes like that. Minus 3 2x plus 3 equal to 0. And now you can take 2x plus 3 as common. And what that leaves you with here is 2x plus 3 into x minus 1 minus 3. Okay. So now you have two roots. One is this one and one is that whole thing. So I'll just open this one. This one becomes 2x plus 3 equal to 0. Leaves me with x equal to minus 3 by 2. I already have found my answer. If you cancelled it out earlier on like this, you would have lost on that one answer. Okay. So when you have equations like this, it's better or it's smart to not cancel out roots like that. All right. For the other part, the part that's inside here, this becomes 2x squared plus 3x minus 2x minus 3 minus 3. And this whole thing is equal to 0. This is all. Okay. So you just FOIL it. First, outer, inner, and last. So you just open them up like that. And so you get 2x squared plus x minus 6 equal to 0. This you can easily find out by first putting either trying to factorize this, or you can start with the quadratic formula. So any of those methods would be fine. If I try to do it with factorization, I'll actually end up with something like this probably. Okay. So
sir, it would be 4x minus 3.
No, yeah, it will be 4x
Check
minus 3 because
plus.
because that's plus. Yes, I get it. My bad. So 4x minus 3x. So now 2x is common, gives me x plus 2, and here minus 3 is common, gives me x plus 2 equal to 0. X plus 2 equal to 0, or 2x minus 3 is equal to 0. Now you'll notice that I'm getting minus 3 plus 3 by 2 here and minus 2 here. And that's my 3 answers. But they ask us for coordinates of points, not the x values. And that is what many students might forget. So for that, you just put them in equation. So I'll just put them in maybe this one. 2x plus 3. So for x equal to minus 3, so I'll just make it like that. X, y, minus 3 by 2, minus 2, and 3 by 2. Plug that in there and you'll get your answer for y. So when it is minus 3 by 2, it becomes 0. When it is minus 2, it becomes minus 3. And when it is 3 by 2, you get 18. So that's your 3 answers. So those are the 3 answers for these equations. If you canceled out, I want to remind you that you would have lost 1 point. All right. Number B of a certain type of bacteria at time t can be described by this. This is an exponential equation. Find the value of B when t is equal to 0. So when t is 0, this whole exponential thing becomes 1. So you get B equals 200 e power 0 plus 800 e power 0 again. So that is 1000. So that's how many bacteria you have in the beginning. They're saying when dp by dt is 1200, basically the rate of growth of these bacteria When that rate is 1200, show that this is equal to 0. All right, so let me just put the copy the equation here. I do dB by dt leaves me with 400 e power 2t. How did I do that? Basically, for exponentials, this is your function. So it's dB by dt, or its derivative is going to be the same function again, times the derivative of the power, which is just 2. So that's what I get here. Similarly, here I'll get minus 1600 e power minus 2t. Why? Because the derivative is minus 2 e power minus 2t. Okay. And
Yes, sir.
yeah, so I have that. So this becomes, let me just say that let e power 2t equal to y. So that gives me 400y minus 1600 over y equal to dB by dt. Okay. And they're saying when this thing is equal to 1200. So I'm going to put this equal to 1200. Okay. So now this 0, these zeros cancel out. I can divide it all by 4, leaving me with 1y minus 4 over y equals to 3. And now this is looking like something that we can look for. So this becomes y squared minus 4 is equal to 3. Leaves me with y squared minus 4 is equal to 3y squared minus 3y minus 4 is equal to 0. And we know what y is. Y is e power 2t, right? So this becomes e power 4t minus 3 e power 2t minus 4 is equal to 0. And that's what we were looking for. All right. They're saying use the substitution u is equal to e power 2t. Just like we made a dummy variable, they have also made a dummy variable. Solve this equation. Okay, so we already have this equation in that form, that this becomes y squared minus 3y minus 4 equal to 0. So this simply becomes y squared plus y minus 4y minus 4. So y plus 1 minus 4y plus 1 equal to 0. So y is equal to minus 1 and y is equal to plus 4. And we know that e power 2t is equal to minus 1 or e power 2t is equal to 4. This equation will only be possible if, in fact, this won't be possible at all. So this is like nonsensical. So I'll just say NA, not applicable. And this one I can take square root. Okay. Or even if I don't want to do that, I can take ln on both sides. So ln of this, ln of that leaves me with 2t equal to ln 4. So t is equal to ln 4 over 2, and there you go. That's my answer. If you took the square root, you will get two answers. One will be negative, one will be positive. But because this is time will not be negative. So again, you will just take the positive answer. All right.
Sir, why is the first one not valid?
Why is the first one not valid? Because e is a positive number. A positive number to any power is a positive number. You can't get a negative number out of that.
Sir,
Yeah.
Sir, like I've noticed that certain questions when so there were one answer is not like it's not possible. So I always get confused as to what I'm supposed to write there. So do I just simply write NA and it will be like fine?
Yeah, it will be acceptable, but if you want, you can also say it is not applicable, it's nonsensical, although don't write that. But yeah, you can even write that because it's as nonsensical as things get in maths.
Okay. I usually just write not possible.
That is also fine. That's also fine. Okay. Or you can simply be like reject. You can just write that there.
Yeah, I think that's a bit harsh, but okay.
Yeah. So this is indices. You just have to make sure that you follow the rules of the indices. So what were the rules? Just to give you a reminder, first rule was that if the same base multiplies with some same base, powers add, and if they divide, powers subtract. Second was that power upon whole power is basically going to multiply with the power. So those are the two rules that we need to know. Another rule was that if you flip the fraction, sign of the power changes. So if you have p power minus 1, you flip the fraction, it becomes 1 over p power 1. Or similarly, if you have 1 over p power minus 3, you flip it and you'll get p power plus 3. So those are the three rules that we need to know. All right. So for this question, we just have to simplify this. What I'm going to write is I'm going to separate everything. So this becomes p power 3 by 2. This becomes r power 3 by 2 times 2 is just 3. And this becomes q power half, and this becomes r power half. Notice that I just separated everything. If you feel comfortable with the dot or a multiplication sign, you can do that. Similarly, this becomes q squared, this becomes p power minus 1, and this becomes r power minus 2. Now I'm keeping things simple. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to just subtract the powers that are dividing and add the powers that are multiplying. So this becomes p power 3 by 2. That's this one. So this is cancelled out. Then I have this one. This is subtracting. So I'll just subtract this. And I've taken care of p. Similarly for q, this is up here and this is down there. So 1 by 2 minus 2. So these are also used up. And then I have r. So r3 over here
Sir,
plus r power half. Yeah.
sir, wouldn't it when you take q up there, the power, so sir, वो minus 2 नहीं होगा? Yeah,
Where
will
was
it just be minus
No,
3q?
देखो वो था q squared. So when I subtract it from half, it simply becomes half minus 2. Two minuses don't make sense.
Okay.
Either I write it like this, that it is q half minus 2, or I write it like this, q half times q power minus 2, in which case I'll add them up and it become half plus minus 2, which is again the same.
Okay.
So this way I'll get p power 5 by 2, this way I'll get minus 3 by 2, and this way I'll get 5, 7, I don't know, 11 by 2. So I can just combine them all. P power 5, R power 11 over Q power 3 square root. Why square root? Because they all have power half in them. Okay, so I can just do that. Or you can leave it this way. Now they're saying find the value of each of the constants. In fact, we didn't even have to do this. We can simply write that we have already converted it. So A is the power of P, which is 5 by 2. B is power of Q minus 3 by 2, and C is 11 by 2. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. If you forget to write A is equal to this, B is equal to this, if you forget to do that, examiner will not take away any marks because you have already shown it in this form, in the form that was required. But again, be mindful, don't skip these things. Now, I'm not going to indulge with this equation in this form. I'm going to create dummy variables. So I'm going to be like, let x power half equal to u and y power minus half equal to maybe v. So 3u minus v equal to 4 and 4u plus 3v equal to 14. I have a simultaneous equation here. I'm going to multiply this whole thing by 3, and that way I'll get 9u minus 3v is equal to 12, and 4u plus 3v equals to 14. Make sure that when you're writing it, your u and v don't look similar. Otherwise, it will be very difficult for you or the examiner to tell them apart. This cancels out. You're left with 13. U is equal to 26. U is equal to 26 over this 2. Then I have v. V is going to be 4u plus 3v. Any one equation would do. So it becomes this. So 4 into 2 plus 3v is equal to 14. That leaves me with v is equal to 8 by 3. Oh, sorry, 6 by 3, which is 2. I just subtracted it. ये बन जाएगा 6. So 3v is equal to 6. So लिख ही देता हूँ. 3v is equal to 6 and v is equal to 2. So I have found these answers. I'm going to convert them back. So this is equal to 2 and y power minus half is equal to 2 again. Okay. So this becomes x equals to 4 because square of this on both sides. And for this one, I will have to multiply it by minus 2, or I can just convert it through some algebra. This will become y minus half power minus 2 is equal to 2 power minus 2, which is nothing but y is equal to 1 over 4. It's not minus 4, remember that. It is y is equal to 1 by 4. So I found x and y both. All right. Circular measure. Arc length is given. radius is given. Some other things are also mentioned, I think. Angle is also given. This angle, OAB, this whole angle is pi by 2, which simply means that this radius and that's a tangent. Okay, so this is pi by 2. It's a 90 degrees. So I'll just write like that. All right. Find the value of theta. We know that two ways of doing this. We can see that, okay, when theta is 2 pi, it is 2 pi r. So when theta is just theta, it's going to be 9.6. Use the ratio method. So 2 pi cancels with 2 pi. You get 9.6 is equal to 12 times theta. So theta is equal to 9.6 over 12, which is 0.8. One method is that one, or the other is you simply apply the simplified formula, which is again derived from the unitary method, the ratio method. So S is 9.6, R is 12, and theta is unknown. So theta again comes out to be 0.8 radian. All right, find the area of shaded region. Now look at the shaded region. What you need for this is basically one side, this side here, because that will be the base, and 1 by 2 base into height. That's one way. And then you subtract the sector area. So I personally think that that's the simplest way. We can find other methods, like we can find the length OB and then use half AB sine C. We don't really have to. We have a much simpler method, so I'm going to try that. So for line AB, what I'm going to do is that AB is opposite to this angle theta, and 12, the OA line, is adjacent to it. So I'm going to use tan. So tan of 0.8, make sure your calculators are in radian mode, is equal to AB over 12. Why 12? Because OA is the adjacent, the side right next to the angle. And that gives me 12 times tan 0.8 is AB. So I find AB, whatever that was. And then I have to find the area of the triangle. So I'm going to find the area of triangle is going to be half AB, which is 12, and 12 tan 0.8. So two sides here, one is OA and one is AB. I've used them both. So that will give me 72 tan 0.8. So if you can find that, that will be good. Then we have this semicircle. I just have to subtract the area of the triangle and the semicircle, just find the difference in them. So for the, sorry, it's not a semicircle, it's a sector. So I'm going to do that. So half, so area of the sector is going to be half r squared theta. So that is 12 squared into 0.8. So I just do that. That's going to be again 72 times 0.8, whatever that is. Okay. So now shaded area is going to be 72 times 0.8 minus 72 tan 0.8, because that's the area of the triangle, and that's how I get my shaded region. Notice that the question is of 4 marks, and I found 4 things. 1, 2, 3, 4. There you go. Okay. So the number of marks can be used as a hint for you to know that how much working is required. Interesting. I always find these problems interesting because puzzles hoti hain, very difficulty level. So 8 books are to be arranged. So your total number is 8. Okay. There are 4 maths books, so just make a note of that. 4 maths books, 3 geography books, 1 French book. Okay. Find the number of different arrangements. So you have 3 different types of books. So I'll just take them as types. Find the number of different arrangements of book if there are no restrictions. So all I'm concerned with is there are 8 books. So how do I arrange them? I have 8 slots where I have to arrange these things. So it's going to be using basic counting universal 8 factorial. Basically, I have slots here. So in the first one, I can put any of the 8 books. In the second one, I can put any of the 7 books that are remaining because I've already used one, and then 6 here, 5 here, all the way to just 1 here, because at the end, I'll always be left with just 1 book. So different ways, I'll just multiply it all, which can be written as 8 factorial. Next is saying find the number of different arrangements if maths books have to be kept together. All right. So basically now our library will basically look like this. You have 3 geography books. you have one French book, and you have one math section. You don't have one math book now. It's a whole section that's going to remain wherever it is. So it's basically going to be 5 slots. So what's going to happen is that you can put any of the geography, and you can put maybe French here, and then you'll put math section. Within the math section, you will have 3 slots, basically 3 different 4 math books, basically. And that's how they're going to be arranged. So let me see. Wherever I put the math section doesn't matter, because I will always have 4 books inside that. So for the total books, I have 5 different ways of arranging them. So that's 5 factorial times the section of math has 4 factorial ways of combining books or arranging books. So 4 factorial. Okay, so I'm basically multiplying them. In other words, I have 5 slots here, and within any of the ones, maybe there's the math section, I can get 4 other slots. Okay, so that's how it's going to be. So this is 4 factorial and this is 5 factorial. Multiply them to get the total number.
So 2880.
Okay, 2880, I believe you. Find the number of different arrangements if the maths book have to be kept together and geography books have to be kept together. So now what we have here is basically a geography section, a math section, and a French book. So in the geography section, you have 3 books, so that's 3 factorial inside it. In the math section, you have 4 books, so 4 factorial inside it. And within these 3, you can just jumble them up any way you want. So that's 3 factorial. So it's 3 factorial, 3 factorial, 4 factorial. Because you're picking all the books, there is no requirement to use C or P, even though you can solve this method through that as well. All right.
864.
This is 864?
Yep.
Okay. I always wondered what's 9 cube? Sorry, 6 cube is 216, right? Yeah, it's 216 times 4, yeah, sure. All right, a team of 6 players is chosen from 8 men and 4 women. No restrictions. That's a good world we live in. So 8 men, 4 women, 12 people, 12 players in total, and we have to choose any 6. So 12, choose 6. There you go. So 6 out of 12 that you have to choose. Or another way to do this is that you can be like, okay, I have 6 slots. And in the first one, I have 12 people to choose from. In the second, I have 11. In the third, I have 10, 9, 8, and 7. Multiply them all, and you get this. Another way, which is kind of unorthodox, you say, okay, I'm going to choose 12 people out of the 12. Okay. And then what I'm going to arrange 12 people out of 12. So that is 12 factorial. And then I'm going to separate or take away different ways in which the 6 remaining ones, the ones I cannot pick. Okay, so even though they feel bad, you can just subtract them out, that I'm not picking you up. That is 6 factorial. And then you're like, because this is just picking people, this is not repeating people. Like the order doesn't matter. If I choose Amna and Mohsen, then that simply means that if I choose Mohsen and Amna, it's the same thing, right? So that means because there are 6 members of the team, there are 6 factorial combinations of these people being chosen up. So that is 6 factorial again. कि इतने methods repeat होते रहेंगे, वही आमना मोहसिन और मोहसिन आमना होता रहेगा. The order doesn't matter. So इसलिए मैं 6 factorial से divide करवा दूंगा. And that is again, surprisingly, this thing. So you can just go with the simplest.
So 924.
924. Whatever it is. This number is just as meaningful as 924. All right, there's at least one woman on the team. Okay, for whatever reason. Just kidding. We have one woman on the team and the remaining are going to be chosen. Now, does this mean that the remaining 5 people are going to be men? Actually, no.
No, it says at least one.
Yeah, and that is the main trick in this question. That many students, what they did that year was, if you read the report, many students thought that you can only have one woman on the team. So वो एक woman तो लेनी है, बाकी सारे 5 men होंगे. But actually that's wrong. It's at least one woman, which means, here's the thing, you can choose one woman and 5 of the others, mixed gender thing, or 2 women and 4 of the others, and 3 women and 3 of the others, and that way you can work up to 6-member team. But here's the thing, that is going to be quite long and not worth the 2 marks. There must be an easier way. So here's the thing, what if I did not choose a team where there were any women? So how many ways of picking those teams? How many teams out of these 924 where there are no women? That is going to be, you choose 6 out of 8. 8 men and you choose 6. That's 8C6. And how many total teams? 12C6. Different ways of making that team. If you subtract them, you are getting teams that have at least 1 woman on them.
Sir, could you please explain this again? I didn't get
Sure.
it.
Here's the thing. I want to figure out there are 924 different ways of picking a team. I want to find out the number of ways in which we can pick those, but include at least a woman on the team. So if I include at least 1 woman, that means I can do it that there is 1 woman and 5 men, 2 women and 4 men, 3 women, 3 men, 4 women, 2 men. You get the idea, right?
Yeah.
So that will mean that I will have to calculate 5 or 6 different combinations, 5 or 6 different ways of picking a team, and then adding them all up to know acha total kitne tarike hain. So a much easier method for that would be कि मैं पहले ये पता करूं कि देखो total ways of picking a team is 924, and how many ways of picking a team with no women on them? All of them in. So there are 8C6 ways of doing that. You have a 6-man team.
Oh, okay, I get it.
And none of them are women. No women players. So when you subtract that from 924, you'll get all the ways of picking a team in which there's at least 1 woman. Okay, this is again a topic that is no longer in the syllabus, so I'm going to leave this one out as well. All right, this one. When e power y is plotted against 1 by x, a straight line graph passing through these points is obtained. Find y in terms of x. Okay, so we have a dummy variable y, which is e power y, and dummy variable x, which is 1 over x. So I'm going to be like, okay, let me first find out gradient. So it is 20 minus 8 over 2 minus 4 leaves me with minus 6. And then I have to find this y-intercept. So I'll just keep it simple. I'll be like, okay, y is equal to mx plus c for any equation. Yeah?
Sir,
Sir,
wouldn't
I
it
have a
be
question.
y2?
No, I have a question for the previous question we did.
Yeah, what is it?
सर जब हमने 12 11 बॉक्सेस में लिखा था तो उनको मल्टीप्लाई करके आंसर लेना होता सर तो मल्टीप्लाई करके तो बहुत बड़ा आंसर
तो कोई मसला नहीं है, आ सकता है
सर पर 12C6 तो 924 होता है पर वो कोई 100,000 आ रहा है
This should be the same. Same नहीं आ रहा है.
Yeah, she's right. It's यहाँ पे है 665280.
Oh, divided by 6 factorial.
Then we divide it by 6 factorial. Yeah, we get the same answer.
Yeah. Why are we dividing by 6 factorial? Because there are going to be 6 members and the order doesn't matter, right? So for every 1 member, there's going to be 6 factorial repetition. मतलब मैं आपको एग्जांपल देता हूँ. मेरे पास है A, B, C, D, E, F. How many different arrangements of these numbers possible if I'm going to choose all of them? 6 factorial, right? तो एक टीम मेरे पास ये भी होगी B, A, C, D, E, F. और एक टीम होगी C, A, B, D, E, F or something like that. And you get the idea that I'm going to get 6 factorial repetition. But चूंकि team choose करने में order doesn't matter, I'm going to divide it by that. So if I were going to do this, I will divide it by 6. All right, so now I have this equation y equals mx plus c. Y is, I just pick the simpler point, A equals minus 6 times 4 plus c. So this, when I solve it, comes out to be 32. So I have e power y equals mx plus, yeah. So now we simplify this we get minus 6 over x plus 32. You had to represent y in terms of x, so you take log on both sides. I'm going to take ln. So I get y is equal to ln of this whole thing. There you go. Remember, you will not write ln minus 6 over x plus ln 32. That's very different from just this thing. Okay, so इस वजह से इसको ऐसे ही छोड़ देना. Find the positive value of x for which y is defined. इसका मतलब क्या है? y define कब होता है? log कब define होता है? log तब define होता है जब ये आंसर, ये जो यहाँ पर चीज है, ये greater than 0. So minus 6 over x plus 32 should be greater than 0. So let me do that. So minus 6 over x is greater than minus 32. Okay. You have negative number on both sides. So we flip the equation. That gives me 6 over x is less than 32. So that gives me x is less than 6 over 32. So for these numbers. Okay.
Sir, sign ulta nahi hona chahiye. Sir, won't x be
Yeah.
bigger?
Oh, you just multiplied it. ठीक है.
So
चलो.
can't you just like cancel the minus sign दोनों sides पे?
No, you can't because it's an inequality. Find the exact value of y when x is equal to 3. Find the exact value when y when x is 3. Okay, y is going to be ln minus 6 over 3 plus 32, whatever the answer is, that is ln 30. Find the exact value of x when y is 2. So 2 is equal to ln this whole thing. So I just get e power 2 equals to minus 6 over x plus 32. You solve it for x and I think you can. आपको एक आंसर मिल जाएगा. Okay. The diagram shows the equation this, intersection line this. Find in terms of y the coordinates of p and q. क्या करना है? इन दोनों equations को simultaneously solve करना है. So 5 is equal to 4 plus 2 cos 3x. Leaves me with 1 is equal to 2 cos 3x. Tells me cos 3x is equal to half. Now remember senior cat. You have simplified it. You know the range. Do we? Pretty much. And q is the quadrant. This is positive, so it's going to be this quadrant or that quadrant. Okay, ASTC, right? So it's going to be this one. Cos is positive in these two. And then I have alpha. Alpha is going to be cos inverse of half. That might be anything. Tell me, what is it? Is it 60 degrees or pi by 2? क्या होता है? Pi by 3 क्या है?
1 over 3 pi.
By 3.
Sir,
Pi by
60.
3 is.
Oh, it's yeah.
So that's my alpha. So that's pi by 3. Theta is going to be 3x, which is going to be pi by 3, or 3x is going to be 2 pi minus pi by 3. In either case, I'll get x equal to pi by 9. Yes?
So we're supposed to keep our calculator in degrees, right? Over here.
No, radians.
In radians. Okay.
Yeah. So 5 pi by 3, I think. So 5 pi by 9. Okay. Next is saying find the exact area of the shaded region. Okay, so we have 2 points here. One is where it is pi by 9. ठीक है, वो ऐसे यहाँ पे सॉल्व हो रहे हैं. x की वैल्यू, दो आंसर्स आ रहे हैं. एक वो पॉइंट है जहाँ पे pi by 9 है, एक वो पॉइंट है जहाँ 5 pi by 9 है. अजीब बात है कि एक में से कोई नेगेटिव नहीं आ रहा. ओके, चलें सॉल्व करके देखते हैं. Oh, I get it. Basically, this one is pi by 9 and this one is minus pi by 9 because cos is symmetrical. और बड़े वाला यहाँ पे आया ही नहीं. 5 pi by 9 तो बहुत आगे जाके आएगा ना, वो तो हमें मिलना ही नहीं, क्योंकि देखो cos का ग्राफ ऐसे होता है और y is equal to 5 ऐसे होगा. तो यहाँ पर इंटरसेक्ट करना है. तो ये pi by 9 है और ये 5 pi by 9 है. लेकिन हम अभी इतने रीजन को देख रहे हैं. Our region of interest is not the whole curve. That's why it's going to be pi by 9. That's minus pi by 9, which tells me that I have to integrate from minus pi by 9 to pi by 9 the area of this curve minus area of this rectangle. Do you see the rectangle?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
ये rectangle. ठीक है, इसका area minus करना है. So you can there are two ways to do it. You can just start right away or you can do it at the end. So 4 plus, I'm going to do the 4 plus 2 cos 3x minus 5 dx. मुझे इसका एरिया चाहिए. So minus 5.
Sir, how would we know कि इसमें integration use करनी है?
Integration of?
I'm saying how
Integration
would we
what?
know कि हमने ये use करना है?
Because there are two ways of looking at integration. One way is that integration is antiderivative, and the other way is that integration is area of the curve. So you just look at the definition of integration. So to find the shaded area, I have to find the area under this curve and subtract the area of this rectangle, which is just integration of line y is equal to 5. So cos की integration होती है sin. So 2 cos की बजाय 2 sin 3x divided by derivative of 3x, which is 3, minus integration of 1 is just x. तो अब इन पे हम लिमिट लगा देंगे पाई बाय 9 माइनस में और पाई बाय 9 प्लस में, दोनों में लिमिट्स अप्लाई करेंगे हम. तो 2 sin पाई बाय 9 टाइम्स 3 over 3 minus पाई बाय 9 minus 2 sin 3 into minus pi by 9 over 3 minus pi by 9. अब एक मजे की बात बताता हूँ आपको. इसमें बड़ा आसान है कंफ्यूज होना कि अच्छा ये किस कहाँ पे ब्रैकेट कौन से आ रहे हैं, माइनस किधर आ रहा है, प्लस किधर आ रहा है. तो आप इसको एक और तरह से सोचो. आपको ये सिमेट्रिकल ग्राफ नजर आ रहा है ना, तो अगर मैं इसको 0 से पाई बाय 9 तक इंटीग्रेट करूं और उसको मल्टीप्लाई बाय 2 कर दूं, तो मुझे मतलब 0 से 2 बाय पाई बाय 9 तक ये एरिया मिला. मल्टीप्लाई बाय 2 किया, मुझे पूरा शेडेड एरिया मिल गया. तो दैट इज व्हाट आई एम गोइंग टू डू. मैं बजाय इसके कि इसको बार बार माइनस और प्लस के चक्कर में पढ़ूं, आई एम जस्ट गोइंग टू पुट 0 इन हियर, which will ease my whole process. So this multiply by 0 minus 0, और इस सब को मैं 2 से मल्टीप्लाई कराता हूँ. तो अब मैं
Sir,
yes.
Sir, could you please explain that again? I accidentally left.
No problem. I'm saying that because my graph is symmetrical, I don't have to find the region from minus pi by 9 to plus pi by 9. I will simply find it from 0 to pi by 9. This is 0 and that is pi by 9. I'll integrate it from 0 to pi by 9. And then I'll multiply the answer by 2. Because that's how I get my area. Symmetrical graph. So I'm going to do that. And so I'll get this whole thing multiplied by 2. And that's my answer. जो भी आएगा कैलकुलेटर में ऐड करेंगे 2 sin pi by 3 over 3 minus pi by 9 minus 2 sin 0 which is 0 again, 2 सारे 0 हो गए, और इस पूरे को 2 से मल्टीप्लाई करा. That's how I get my area. All right. Show that the external surface area of the container is such that this. Now, this container is open, which means there is the lower portion but no upper portion. So lower portion तो हो गया 4x. साइड पोर्शन हो गया 4h, ये वाला 4h, और सॉरी hx, और ये हो गया 4xh. ठीक है. तो हमारे पास अब टोटल एरिया सरफेस एरिया क्या आएगा, बॉटम प्लस 2 sides, so 2 times hx plus 2 of the adjacent sides, so 2 times 4hx. ठीक है. So I get 4x plus 2hx plus 8hx, that is 4x plus 10x. ठीक है, यहाँ तक तो सही है. लेकिन एज क्या है, एज मुझे नहीं पता, लेकिन मुझे ये पता है कि 4 times x times h वॉल्यूम होता है और वो 800 है. So I can see that h is going to be 800 over 4x squared, which is 200 over x squared. There you go. I'm going to plug that in there. I'm going to color code this thing. There is this side, okay, and this side. इसका एरिया दोनों का सेम है, वो होगा 2 times x times h. Now दूसरी साइड देखते हैं, ये साइड और ये साइड, इनका एरिया क्या होगा. इसकी लेंथ है 4x, इसकी हाइट है h, तो 4x h एक का हो गया, तो 2 times that दोनों का हो गया. And then I have the bottom, और bottom का एरिया क्या होगा, लेंथ है 4x, हाइट है सॉरी विड्थ है x, तो 4x times x 4x. मेरा टोटल सरफेस एरिया आ गया, which comes out to be 10xh plus 4x squared. Now what is h? Volume is length times width times height. Volume is 800. Length is 4x. Width is x. Height is h. तो इससे मुझे मिल जाएगा 800 equals to 4x squared h. H comes out to be 200 over x. I'll plug this in here. I get 10x times 200 over x squared plus 4x squared. This cancels out. 2000 over x plus 4x squared is my answer, and that's what I had to find out, right? Given that x can really find the stationary value of s. Stationary value पे इसका derivative 0 होता है. So मैं ds by dx निकालूंगा और उसको equal to 0 कर दूंगा. तो जरा मैं s को देखूं क्या है. x है 2000 over x plus 4x squared. Let's suppose you are somebody who is unable to solve this question. So then take this value. Use this in the next part. अगर वो आपसे पूछता है. इस तरह शो दैट वाले क्वेश्चन में वो बताते इसलिए ताकि आप इसको यूज कर सकें अगर आपका गलत हो जाए. या आप ये कर लें या जो भी आपका आंसर आया उसको इंटीग्रेट कर दो. बट बेटर वुड बी कि आप इसको इंटीग्रेट करें और मैं वही एडवाइस करूंगा आपको. सो मैं 4x स्क्वायर्ड प्लस 2000 ओवर x को इंटीग्रेट डिफरेंशिएट करता हूँ. तो ये बन जाएगा 8x. ये बन जाएगा -2000 ओवर x स्क्वायर्ड इज इक्वल टू 0, which gives me 8x cubed minus 2000 over x squared is equal to 0. So that gives me that 8x cubed minus 2000 is 0.
Sir,
So
x squared कैसे हुआ?
क्योंकि डेरिवेटिव में आप पावर में से एक माइनस करते हो ना, तो ये 2000
Oh, okay. I got it.
So I get 2000 over 8. Cube root of that will be my answer. There you go. All right, and that's it.